Hi, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will talk about one of the interview queries. This is the most important query asked on the internet because you would have passed out engineering with electronics and communication background, or you would have done your MTech or PhD in signal processing and communications, or any other domain which is not relevant to computer science. But when you want to give an interview, or when you get a job in a company, then you will obviously have the doubt that how much of C language knowledge is required, right? So there was one such a similar question. Let me go through that. Sir, are you using C or C++ in your day-to-day working? Or in case of RLC or PDCP layer software development in XYZ company, C and C++ required? So my answer is yes, I use C language. For development, it depends from company to company and the platform in which the company is using. Okay, usually C language is the one which is most widely used, but sometimes C++ is also required. Okay, for that is next question was, can you help out? Can you help me how to learn C, especially for preparing no, layer one or layer two related software development profiles in XYZ company? For that, my answer was, so I can tell you the topics on which you need to learn and which are used the most widely for code development. The topics are multidimensional arrays and pointers, structures related to memories, bitwise operators, macros, preprocessor, type, def, enums. Okay. Um, okay. So for that, his next question was, sir, where can I learn these topics? Do we have any good YouTube channel or any good websites, things like that? So this is where you can comment out, the websites or channels where one can learn a very good C language. But I usually refer Geeks for Geeks and my notes from college. So I mentioned Geeks for Geeks. Uh, so his next question was, will there be any C related coding test for L1 profile in telecom company? My answer was, for a telecom company, normally there will not be any C coding test to hire L1 layer development. Basics of C language is sufficient, and that will be asked in the interview. Maybe you will ask to write a small code for some simple questions related to pointers, arrays, or like memory. So from here onwards, actually, I have framed these questions which I felt are relevant to the questions asked, and which will help for some people who are looking for similar kind of answers for the queries that they have. How much of C language knowledge is required when you are working in a telecom company? The answer is, basics of C language should be very good, like using for loops, while loops, and if statements and things like that. But the main topics which I mentioned earlier, like related to memories, related to pointers, related to structures, related to arrays, all these concepts should be very clear, very much clear. Then I think you can you can survive in a telecom industry, and you can write a very good decent code. But what is not required? Okay, high level advanced data structures or algorithms are not really very much required. Okay, it is good to have, but it is not mandatory, especially for the L1 layer development code. But if you consider the developing L2 layer, then it is better to know, I think. um, so for that, the next question is, will there be any C related coding test for L2 profile in telecom company? Yeah, actually depends. It depends on the company. Mostly, in some companies there will be C-related coding test for L2 plus profile, because they would be using a much more complex algorithm than the L1 layer. So in if there are if there is any C-related coding test, then in such cases you should be practicing the C coding test from CodeChef website or HackerRank website or any other similar websites. Okay, from here onwards, I want to talk a little more about the C related coding test. How will be the coding test? So especially like for telecom industry, it will not be too much complex. Okay, like you are going to write a code for managing some database or things like that, but it will be somewhat simpler. Like it will be an aptitude sort of question, and you will be asked to solve some kind of puzzle or some kind of maze, and for that once you write the code, you will be checked with memory constraints. You will be checked with there could be 50 or 100 test cases covering all the corner scenarios would be there. So your code should cover all those things, and all the 100 test cases should be passing. And also there will be a time limit. Okay, you cannot use just for loops, and for loops you can write the code. You have to use little bit of optimized algorithms, or a little bit of optimized code in your case, so that it runs much faster. Okay, such a kind of simple C coding test will be there. It will definitely, it will not be advanced like in case of computer science students. I hope the things are very clear. If you still have any doubt, you can contact me. um, Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you have any better answers for this question, please comment it out in the comment section. Thank you.